Good morning. Coming up right now on Daybreak Plus. This is what kids should be doing today, but wildfire smoke has taken over West Michigan, so doctors advise against it. We'll let you know where things stand this morning.
And dangerous levels of E. coli at one beach will tell you where you need to stay out of the water.
Welcome to Daybreak Plus on a Thursday morning when the talk of the town is the smoke.
It's the smoke.
It's blanketed the air.
Hits you as soon as you step outside.
It's pretty wild.
Yes.
It is.
Okay, I earlier this morning was standing in this spot of near downtown Grand Rapids. So what we're about to show you is two pictures, one on top and one on the bottom. So on the bottom, and I'm just going to take away...
The before and the after.
This is the before and the after. I'll take away the words so you can see better. On the bottom, that's what it looked like just yesterday afternoon. Mm-hmm. And on the top is from this morning. Can't see anything.
No, skyline is not visible.
So this is among the worst air quality we've had in Michigan in years. I don't know if we're breaking records, Scott, but I know we're at least close, right?
Yeah, we have to be. What's considered to be hazardous is a threshold of 300 on the air quality index. And the last check in Grand Rapids it was at 616.
Yeah.
So it matches the area code.
This shows you, yeah, over the last 24 hours how it has changed. We were in the yellow, and now you can see how much of that dark maroon has taken over West Michigan. That's the worst that it can be, but we're well beyond those numbers, so that's where we're at. It's not good.
And I think that's where we're going to be for pretty much the entirety of the day. In fact, it looks like it could get a little worse this afternoon. We should have some improvement going through the day on Friday, but it's going to be pretty slow to arrive.
So this isn't just, hey, it's uncomfortable outside. It's stay inside whether you have asthma or not, because this will affect your lungs. I could feel it out there.
Yeah, it's a dangerous level of smoke that's filling the skies right now. It's far and wide across West Michigan. There's several different views, Grand Haven, Holland, Grand Rapids. It is just thick, and you can definitely see that it's at the surface because we have lowered visibility. And I mentioned that we had that air quality index in Grand Rapids at 616. It's been hanging between about 300 and 600 throughout the morning. When I got in at about 3 o'clock, it was somewhere near 420, 430, and it's been steadily climbing throughout the course of this morning. So it's just been getting worse.
One of the state monitors in Marquette yesterday evening. Now, this is one monitor, and it's 1 hour. It's not for the whole day, but it registered above a 900.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about really thick, dense smoke. And that's what's setting up shop here in West Michigan. Let's get a look at air quality right now. And anywhere that you see that dark maroon or purple color, that's where you're sitting in that hazardous category. Where there's that splotch of white in the UP, that is off the charts still. So this is really a thick, heavy concentration of smoke. You can also see the orientation of the streamlines from the northwest. It's just going to continue to spill in, moving through the day today. So a lot more smoke still coming our way. Let's check in on visibility now. You can see some of the impacts related to the arrival of that smoke. It's down to about a mile, give or take. We've seen that dip to as low as a half mile at times.
How does that compare to if we had a really foggy morning that you would expect?
Pretty similar conditions. Usually if we get a dense fog advisory, it's for the neighborhood of like a quarter mile to a half mile visibility. So a fairly similar situation, not quite to that extent, but even still, it's hard to see in some spots. And you can see that that's mainly focused north of I-96 in terms of where we have some of the worst visibility right now. That also correlates with where we have the thickest smoke too. Things are a little better near the Indiana state line.
Is that where we have the one little stretch? I think there was one line of yellow I saw that we still had.
For a couple counties down that way.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's pretty much unhealthy across the entire lower peninsula.
Okay.
We'll get a look at the next 24 hours. Looks like the smoke hangs around into the morning hours of Friday. We'll get a jump here to the smoke futurecast. It shows that smoke continuing to dive in from the north. It'll continue to be with us into the morning hours of Friday. The wind is expected to shift into tomorrow afternoon. That peels off the thicker concentrations of smoke. It may not be entirely gone, but here as we go from late Friday night into early Saturday, it'll certainly be thinner by that time. It may be temporary, though, because we have another chance at a cold front coming through on Saturday. That'll stir up our first showers and storms that we've seen in over a week. And that also is going to be spinning the wind more to the northwest. So with that flow back in the picture, it could also slide in a fresh round of smoke, considering that we have the fires happening in Minnesota and Canada.
And you think Sunday that would be happening? Or
yeah, that would be happening overnight Saturday into Sunday.
Okay. So we might get a little bit of a break temporarily.
There may be a break late Friday going through a majority of the day Saturday, but it probably won't last too long. Again, there's always uncertainty when we're talking about smoke forecasts. It can be a difficult thing to trace, but that's definitely something that we'll be mindful of as we go into the second half of the weekend. Temperatures do continue to cool off, so you've been craving some cooler weather. That will be the case for us next week. Highs fluctuating right around 80, overnight lows in the upper 50s, but of course we won't be able to open the windows really if we have that smoke lingering around.
No, in fact, using your air conditioning is the recommendation from doctors this morning.
Helps to filter the air. Yeah.
You could do a box filter, a box fan with a filter at home if you don't want to spend $300 on a system. There's some
That too.
videos on how to do that. If you have to go outside, one of these N95 masks could be really important.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I've still got a few of those at my house from the COVID era, so
yeah.
try to dig up a couple of those.
Make sure they're not expired.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do, but all right. Thank you, Scott. And I know, we've talked to pediatricians and parents about this situation because it's not just irritating, it's dangerous.
Yeah, in this situation it is, just given how high it is. Yeah.
So kids should be playing outside. This is why they're not. So my husband was in Taos area yesterday. So it was clear here, and he was sending me these videos. So you knew what was coming, but now it's here. And this is what one pediatrician told us about the dangers, especially for children who have asthma.
For like our patients, we are encouraging them to make sure that their inhalers are filled and up to date and not expired. If they have shortness of breath, chest pain, or difficulty breathing, letting us know right away or seeking medical attention. We have patients who would be admitted to the ICU and sometimes for several days because of an asthma flare. So especially our bat asthmatics, this can be pretty dangerous.
I mean, it definitely makes us keep an eye on her more closely when she's running around playing with friends. Obviously, she enjoys being a very active kid. So anytime there's air quality issues around, we just like to keep an eye on her. We keep her inhaler a little bit closer just in case she has any of those asthma attacks, and just ask her to keep a little bit more relaxed and calm approach.
So yeah, maybe it's not a beach day today. It's not a pool day today. It's a stay inside kind of a day. Unfortunately, that's just where we're at.
When I walked out of the apartment this morning at whatever it was, 3:15 or so, you could just feel it. You could smell it. It was lingering in the air. So yes, stay inside is the best advice.
I came in from south of Grand Rapids, and when I got in my car, it was a little hazy, but barely noticeable. And as I was driving in, that's when it was really settling into the city. And immediately I could smell that smell, man. And actually I was looking at some of the discussion boards on Facebook groups and stuff, and people who hadn't noticed, followed along with what was happening, were asking, is there a fire somewhere? They thought because the smoke was so thick and the smell was so strong that there must be a fire somewhere nearby, not the ones in Ontario.
I thought something was burning in the building when I got up. So
that's how bad it is.
That's how it is.
So just be careful this morning. We have some other stories to get to coming up, including rabies in Ottawa County.
Confirmed in Ottawa County. We'll tell you all about that. Welcome back to Daybreak Plus on a Thursday morning. We've got some headlines in the rundown.
This one won't go away, unfortunately for a lot of people. More and more people every day, in fact. Cyclosporiasis.
3,700 cases now. Michigan has the most of any state.
And this has prompted food safety events. There was one yesterday, just focusing on washing produce, buying whole heads of lettuce, buying at a place where the process to handle it is all contained in one spot as opposed to sent out to different spots. Just got to be really careful because we keep getting more and more cases in Michigan.
The number is going up, it seems like, every day. Again, they had looked at tracing it potentially to some fast food locations. We're waiting to hear more about that. But for the time being, it's wash, 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 and be very careful how you handle these things.
Cook if you can.
Cook them if you can is right.
For the last couple years, or almost a couple years, there have been plans in the Gaslight Village in East Grand Rapids for this big project. And a lot of people there have fought the plans. It's moving forward. The process has been very slow, and it's moving forward.
They've made a lot of changes. They've gotten a lot of input over the past year and a half. And now they're a step closer to getting this thing done.
The residents had to file a lawsuit to be heard. That's a pretty strong statement, as well as filing that referendum petition. I ask that you listen to them.
Actually take umbrage at the concept that we haven't listened and made changes. I think that the plan that's in front of us is different, considerably different than versions and versions and versions of this plan that we've looked at over the course of, I don't know how many months, at least 18 months.
One of the changes they made was they removed a sidewalk from the plans for one edge of like a parking area. You can look at the full plans and the updated plans if you want to. Inside this story, it's on our website. We have news that broke overnight that we've been following this morning as well, about a crash in Robinson Township.
This was at 104th and Buchanan. Medics took one person to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, and the person apparently was ejected from the vehicle.
So we are waiting for confirmation on what happened with that person, but again, life-threatening injuries and with an ejection like that, it's serious. They did a long investigation as well. But to clarify, we have no confirmation if that person survived or did not survive the crash. E. coli is never a good thing. It shuts down beaches all the time. It is causing problems at Gun Lake County Park Beach now.
This is in Allegan County. They're basically saying avoid contact with the water there, so do not go in. They've posted signs, and we'll have to see how long that lasts.
And we have rabies in Ottawa County in a bat.
The first case in a bat, there have been 22 so far in bats this year that have tested positive in our state. No human cases so far. That's one thing to note.
Which is the good news. But when it's showing up in bats, they just want to let you know so that if for some reason you come into contact with the bat, you know to get tested and be cautious. Okay. That's the rundown. We're going to get to a few other things coming up, including the message from Governor Whitmer on data centers.
Yes, stay with us. More news coming up.
Welcome back to Daybreak Plus. It is Thursday, July 16th. And we have a statement from Governor Whitmer on data centers, which we hear about every day because every day there's a new meeting somewhere in the state because somebody wants to put one in. Microsoft has been responsible for quite a few of those, but now the governor is coming out and talking about this.
There's a plan that she wants companies to basically sign a voluntary pledge committing to bearing the full electric system costs of their facilities, securing new power resources rather than drawing from the existing grid, protecting water supplies, and also hiring Michigan workers.
So one of the biggest concerns that we've heard from people regarding data centers does have to do with power, water usage, impact on the environment nearby. So this would address some of that. There's other issues at hand, I think, concerns about, what this would mean for their communities.
One of the quotes in her statement says that any data center company that wants to invest in Michigan must ensure working families do not pay a single penny for data center development or operations, protect our national resources, and create local good-paying jobs.
So there's a whole data center pledge that she has that George kind of went over, and I'm just going to get that on the screen for you here. There you go. Maintaining the electric grid reliability. We already have electric utility companies tacking on to the cost actually not even every year. It's sometimes multiple times a year.
And yeah, the rates change, yes.
And assuring that we and small business owners don't have to pay for those energy demands is part of this pledge. And the water usage is another big one, which if you have a closed system, obviously that would be a requirement for any of these. But there's still, you're taking that water and then putting it back into an area. So they just want assurances that this is not going to be contaminated water, that there's heat that's involved, though. They're heating things up when they do that. This is not the end of the story or the conversation.
There was some backlash also to the governor. The $16 billion Saline Township data center that was built there. And there was a lot of feeling about that. And anyway, the governor's now come up with this plan.
We're going to do celebrity birthdays for this Thursday, July 16th. And one of my favorites, Will Ferrell.
Oh, Will Ferrell, 59.
59 years old today.
He is great in Anchorman and Elf.
I think Elf might be one of my favorites.
I loved him on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
His original stuff on SNL, I really enjoyed.
Some of the movies where he plays more uncomfortable characters, I kind of cringe, like Wedding Crashers, or I don't know. There's worse, I guess, out there. But yeah, he's very funny.
Yeah.
Another big one, Barry Sanders.
Oh, yeah. Sir Barry Sanders.
Sir Barry Sanders.
Sir Barry.
I always forget the people who have been knighted who are Americans. And yeah.
2004 Hall of Famer, 10-time Pro Bowler, one of the great running backs. Some might argue the greatest, but certainly one of the greatest.
We can call him the GOAT. Corey Feldman, 55 years old.
Wow, 55.
We also, if you want to go back to some sports, we have Carly Lloyd. Let's keep talking soccer.
I didn't realize she won 2 World Cup titles, 2015 and 2019 with Team USA. The women have won the World Cup, I believe, 4 times.
They have a better record in the last,
compared to the men. And she's also gotten Olympic gold a couple times.
It's pretty cool. Want to just go back to show you as a recap of the smoke outside. This is yesterday versus today. On the bottom is the view yesterday. And on the top is the view today. I'll take the words off to make it easier to see.
That is quite a contrast.
Darn it, that didn't work out. I don't know why that happened. Okay, there you go. So clear
at the bottom, how
skies for the
clear it
most
is.
part, couple clouds, but then, this morning you really can't see anything. So that's just a visual of how quickly things have changed. And in the last 24 hours, this is airnow.gov showing you as that smoke was moving in. The darkest color, that maroon, that is the worst level of air quality we can get. And that's where we're at now.
You were out all morning long outside. Just describe what it was like standing where you were for multiple hours.
Well, I did have one of these with me. I didn't end up putting it on. I didn't feel like that was necessary at the time because I was out of the car for 5 minutes at a time. The photographer I was with was wearing one of these. He was out for a little bit longer, but I could feel it in my lungs.
Yes.
And I'm not going to be spending any prolonged time outside today.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep the kids inside. I'm going to follow that advice. Sometimes when we get this wildfire smoke, it's just kind of an inconvenience. It's like, oh, the sun looks weird. It feels like we're in this weird haze. This is a physical impact. Like, you can't ignore it. And you and I both covered fires at different places. That's what this smells like, except it's everywhere.
Yes. As soon as I walked out of my apartment, in the building,
You could still smell it.
I thought something was on fire in the building at first, and then I got down to the garage area is open, so you can really get a sense of what's going on with the atmosphere and the weather and everything. And it just hit you. It was just a haze, and I'm close to downtown, so.
Yeah, that's where at that time of morning it had already reached downtown, where I came in from south of Grand Rapids. It hadn't reached there yet, but looking at the map, it's there now.
Yeah.
So anywhere you are at this point in West Michigan, you're going to be feeling that. So just be careful today. Follow the advice. We are going to check in with Miranda.
Our final thing of the morning.
Final thing of the morning. She always has good suggestions for what to do with the fam.
Today is a great day to head.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure that we have, because obviously today would not be the day to be picking the wrong activity for outside. So here's Miranda.
Looking for something really fabulous to do with your kids tonight? Bring them to downtown Holland. You have a special event that's just going to be amazing.
Yeah, so we are taking over Downtown Holland Street Performer Series at GDK Park and bringing Fiesta to the people.
All right, so talk to me about your organization.
La UP is the oldest Latino-led organization in the state of Michigan. We have existed for over 60 years, and our mission is to empower Latinos to participate in creating a better community for all through advocacy, education, and celebration.
I love it. Bring the kids to downtown Holland and get ready to celebrate. If you want more information on how you and your family can be involved, head to our website, woodtv.com. Look for ways to make today special where you live.
Knew she'd have something indoors for us to do.
Yeah. Stay indoors. That's the word of the day.
Yeah. Thanks for watching us here on Daybreak Plus.
Have a great day.
We'll see you next week.